Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and we're taking a look today at the Legends Ultimate Arcade Cabinet, and specifically we're going to be looking at how it interfaces with the MiSTer project, which we of course have looked at quite a bit here on the channel. This is an FPGA-based multi-arcade and multi-console and multi-computer simulator. It is incredibly accurate. I've done a lot of content on this already, so I definitely suggest you check out some of those videos to see exactly what this thing is all about. And they reached out to me to review the cabinet because they wanted to see how the cabinet works with the MiSTer, because unlike some of the other cabinets that you can get out there, this one actually is pretty friendly to external devices now. It wasn't so much when it first came out, but now it is. And you can plug in your MiSTer or your Raspberry Pi without any modifications because they have inputs right here on the front panel. And once you get everything set up, you can make use of the control surface that they have here. It's not perfect yet. There's some work that has to be done to make it better, but it's good enough that we can start talking about it and show how the MiSTer might work with it. Now, I do want to let you know, in the interest of full disclosure, that ATGames sent this to the channel free of charge. However, all the opinions you're about to hear are my own. Nobody is paying for this review, nor is anyone reviewing or approving what you're about to see before it was uploaded. So let's get into it now and see what this device is all about. So let's take a look at the overall hardware, and then we'll see how it interfaces with our MiSTer. This will run you about $500 or $600. It's available at a few department stores here in the US at the moment, and I'm sure it will be available in other places later. It was very easy to put this thing together. All you have to do is get the base assembled, and then once this base component is put together, the component with the screen and the speakers and the light-up marquee here just slides right on top. You screw it down and you're done. You slide in the control surface, screw that in, and your cabinet is built. Altogether, it took me, the guy that can't put furniture together, about 30 minutes or so to get it going, and I was able to do it all by myself, although they do recommend you have a friend over to help you get things going. And of course, you've got two controls here, so after you do get it built, you both can play some games. My only disappointment with the hardware is the speakers. I was hoping for a little more punch out of these speakers up here, because I remember those speakers in the 80s really giving you a little bit more of an impact than what these do. They are nice and loud, of course, but I think if I were to modify any part of this, I would likely put some better speakers in here just to get me that punch that I am missing here. The artwork is pretty cool. You've got a few of the games that are on the cabinet here on the front. And then on both sides of the unit, they have a bunch of 80s and 90s artwork here that you can look at, and it's the same on both sides. But yeah, you got Darth Vader and the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter, along with some other arcade classics there too. So I think it's a pretty attractive device. Part of the deal with this is that they give you 150 games out of the box that run an emulation on here. Just be warned, though, that most of the games that they give you are not arcade games. They're console games from the ColecoVision and the Atari 2600 and a few of the other consoles and license holders that they were able to get permission from. What they want to do is get you into a subscription service where you can get games delivered to you over the internet on a regular basis. So it's not locked down to one particular game or a couple of games. There's going to be a constant flow of games coming to it. There's also a way you can put your own MAME ROMs on it as well. And of course, you can connect external devices, which is what we'll be exploring here in a few minutes. The control surface is pretty nice. You've got the joysticks on both sides and 6 buttons for each person, so that's pretty good. The sticks are nice and clicky, and I found it was very easy to control games like Pac-Man that aren't kind to diagonal controls. They're very good controls here. I was very happy with that. The buttons are nice and springy, and it was fun to get that rapid fire going on a few of my favorite games. There's a couple of spinner controls here as well. As you can see, they spin quite well. So if you're playing, I think, Gyrus and a few of the other games that support spinners, you're in good shape. Compatibility with spinners and the trackball that you have here in the middle will vary based on the game and whether or not it supports it. Some of that support will be a little bit more problematic on the MiSTer side, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. And then I want to direct your attention over here because we have 2 sets of HDMI inputs and 2 USB ports, and this is where you can connect your external devices. Now, initially, you could not use the control surface here with the devices that you were plugging in. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, when they sent me this, they enabled Bluetooth compatibility for the control surface. I shot a video all about that, and then right when we were about to publish the video, they sent in another firmware update. These things keep coming out every couple of days, that it now allows you to connect the control surface over USB directly. Now what you need for that is a USB A to A cable. So you have a cable like this one here. I got a long one just so I can plug some other stuff into my TV as well. That has the A connector on both ends. And if you get this cable, all you have to do is connect up your computer or your MiSTer or your Raspberry Pi to the USB port here, and then this will show up like a USB controller on your device, and that is making all the difference here. So let's hook up the MiSTer now and see how all of this works. All right, so we have our MiSTer booted up and running, and I'm going to do an update on the MiSTer soon because I've added some new hardware. I got a case, and I also got the official USB hub, which has made life a lot easier for me. One of the things I like to do is move my MiSTer around the house. So when I'm playing with an arcade game, I like to have it on the cabinet here. If I'm playing a console game, I like to plug it into my TV. And if I'm doing computer stuff, I want it at a computer monitor. So having the case has made life a lot easier. Now what we're going to do first is just connect up the HDMI to the cabinet. So I'm going to bring the HDMI cable here out of the MiSTer, and we're going to plug it into the HDMI input here on the cabinet and just plug that in. Now I can switch over to the MiSTer right now, and you'll see that the MiSTer is showing up here on the cabinet. But you do have to configure the cabinet first to get the game controllers to work. So we're going to switch back now to the native interface. And let me show you what you need to look for here. We're going to go over to Settings. And then what you want to do, first of all, is make sure you're on at least version 4.80 of the firmware. That's what I have. And this version enables all of this USB stuff to work. So once you've confirmed that you're on the right firmware, if you go over to the Bluetooth device option here, which also has a Raspberry Pi logo on there, you'll get this window up. And right now, by default, it'll likely be in a Bluetooth mode. And what we're going to do is just select the Select Host option here, and then hit A again until you see it say OTG, which is USB on the go. And we're going to click on Apply here with the A button. And once you do that, it's going to switch modes on you here. And then you just want to leave this where it is. And the next thing you're going to want to do is take out your USB cable. The other side, of course, is plugged into our MiSTer. And I am now going to connect this to the leftmost USB port on the panel here. And now that that's in, we're going to go back to the MiSTer now with the input selection to change the input. And now if I move the game controller, you'll see that, look at that, we now have a working interface here to the MiSTer. And of course, this controller will work with the games as well. Now, I previously set this up, and when you first get things going, you're likely going to have to configure the game controller like you would any other controller on the MiSTer. So I do recommend you have a keyboard nearby. So I've got this wireless keyboard connected, and I'm just going to show you the steps that I took to get this working properly. So I'm going to go to Define Joystick Buttons here on screen. And what I would suggest you do is hit space here to skip this, and I'll show you why here in a second. Hit space again, and wait until you get this up on screen, because this is where you configure how the menus work. And I found that if you start hitting the buttons on those prior two options, you don't see this, at least on the current version of the MiSTer firmware I'm running. So what I'm going to do now is just configure my right, my left, my down, my up, and then some of these other buttons here, A and B, X and Y. You can have these do anything you want here for how you want to configure stuff. Select and start, and then I'm going to skip the mouse ones because we don't need the mouse here, but I am going to map the menu button here to the menu button on the panel, so that way I don't need to go back to the keyboard as often. So I'm going to hit that, I'm going to skip the OK one, skip this, and then we're done. And now we have everything working. And in fact, if I go into an arcade game, let's go pick Arkanoid maybe to start. If I pick an arcade game here, as it loads up and I want to maybe switch games, I now can just hit the menu button to take me back out. And of course, I can hit the B button to dismiss that. And I've already configured Arkanoid. You'll probably have to go into each game and just map all the controls. So I mapped my quarter button to the rewind button here, and then I can start playing Arkanoid. Now what's cool about Arkanoid is that the core developer of Arkanoid supports mouse input. And if your game supports mouse input, guess what? You can use the trackball. So check it out. We can actually play Arkanoid here with the trackball. And I found the trackball to be pretty accurate. I have never played Arkanoid in the arcade, and if I did, it was like years ago. So I don't know how close this is to the actual control that they had. And I also found that the spinners, one of them, does work with Arkanoid as well. The one issue I'm having with the cabinet right now is that some controls are working properly and others aren't. So there's a bit of a mix-up with the current firmware between the player 1 and player 2 position. So I'm finding most of the games only work on the player 2 position, and there might be 1 or 2 controls on the left-hand side that work properly on the player 1 position. They are doing some firmware updates at the time I'm recording this video that should rectify that. And once they do that, these should now show up as 2 distinct joysticks with whatever you're plugging it into, whether it be a PC, a Raspberry Pi, or the MiSTer. So soon we should be able to have 2 players simultaneous. Right now, only the right-hand stick works. All right, so we're going to switch out of Arkanoid now and go to a different game. Again, we've got that menu button map, so it's really quick to jump between games here on the MiSTer. I'm going to load up Centipede because this is an example of one game that actually does better on the Legends Ultimate emulation versus the MiSTer because the MiSTer core doesn't support mouse input for the game. So you'll see here when we start up the game, I can't actually control it with the trackball. I can on the emulated version on the Legends Ultimate system, but on MiSTer I have to use the control stick here because it just doesn't support mouse input in this particular core. So a lot of these cores will have to get updated to support the mouse for the trackball to work on everything. But if it does support the mouse like Arkanoid, you can get a more accurate experience versus just using the control stick here. One game that I found was working great the other night was Ms.Pacman. It's one of my favorite arcade games, and I'll load that up real quick so you can see how that controls. And of course, I am not the world's best Pac-Man player, but I was playing better than I was on a few other controllers that I've been using recently. And it's really cool to be able to play Ms.Pacman here standing up. So very accurate controls here. I measured latency a little bit earlier, and I measured it using just the MiSTer menus just to see how fast everything was. And we were looking at about 50 to 55, maybe 60 milliseconds, depending on the situation. So it isn't as good as it might be on a super nice TV or on a gaming monitor or something like that, but it's going to be better than the emulation that's baked into the cabinet here. So it should be about half of what you'd get through the emulated cabinet system. So I think you'll definitely pick up some of the benefits of the MiSTer's ability to really deliver a low latency experience. And I did add the high-speed polling option on the MiSTer. There's a script you can run to enable that. But I'm really pleased with just how well everything plays on here, and it's really cool to be able to use my MiSTer on a cabinet like this. So I'll tell you what, overall, I am very encouraged as to where this project is headed. It's great to see that although, yes, they want to try to get more money out of you through that subscription service, they are open to allowing you to do your own stuff as well, whether it's bringing on MAME ROMs or connecting your own devices. So right now we've got the MiSTer attached, which is going to be my preferred way of bringing additional games to the system, but you could connect a Raspberry Pi if you want. I think at this very moment with the firmware, the Pi isn't quite up and running yet with this OTG method, but I think the next update will correct that. The PC works with it as well, so you could play Street Fighter V, for example, on here using that direct HDMI and USB connection. One thing of note, though, is that the connection via OTG does not support X input. It is D input only. So if your game requires X input, this won't work yet. But given the rapid firmware development here, I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to get X input working in the future. And of course, there are some folks out there who are modifying the hardware directly to bring it over to their preferred devices. So altogether, I think we're off to a good start here, especially given that I'm able to get the MiSTer to work the way I want to without having to modify anything. That's great. I would like both controls to work. We'll get there, but I am very pleased so far. And it's really encouraging, too, because ATGames hasn't had the best reputation in the retro gaming world recently, but it looks like they're very eager to engage with the community and add features based on that feedback on this product, which has been good. And I'll tell you what, it is really well built. It feels nice and sturdy. I like the height. I'm about 5'9", 5'10". It's good enough for me, so that's been good. It's pretty attractive for an arcade cabinet. My wife might differ with me on that opinion, but I think it's attractive. And it was very easy to put together, and it's even got these cool chrome strips here on the side that add a little bit more to the mix. So altogether, I think a really cool start to a very interesting product. And we're going to come back and do more on this because I know this is something that will be of interest to all of you. Now, there's a lot of content out there about this already, so I don't want to repeat what's already out in the YouTube world here. But if there are things that you would like to see, let me know down in the comments, and we'll come back to this cabinet in the weeks ahead and cover some of those topics that haven't been adequately covered elsewhere. So that's going to do it for now. Let me know what you think down in the comments section, and until next time, this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold-level supporters, the Four Guys with Quarters podcast, Tom Albrecht, Rajesh, Logic GR, and Kalyan Kumar. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to lon.tv/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit lon.tv/s.